Hello everyone, welcome to Baking a Budget. We are going to talk about our budget for this month. Typically Sundays is cash stuffing day, but unfortunately we just had a lot going on over the weekend and I was not able to go get cash. So I'm going to have to get cash on Monday and then film my cash stuffing. So definitely stay tuned for either hopefully Monday afternoon, you'll be able to see that video. But unfortunately my husband came down with bronchitis this week. So I've been trying to, keep him away from me and my son. And then, so kind of single parenting this week. And then we had some things go awry with our payroll at work. So I went in on Saturday and I had to do some work. So it's been a little hectic this week. But hopefully we'll be able to get a cash stuffing in on Monday, which is tomorrow. Today's Sunday. So we're going to just look at actually our February budget. And I want to make sure I got a video up. So we're going to focus on budgeting for the paycheck I just got, as well as what it looks like for the month. So if you guys have seen some of my other videos, you may know we are on a contract for a home. We do have the end of due diligence this week, and then we close at the end of February. So we have definitely some financial changes that are going to be happening in the next few months because we are breaking our lease early. So we definitely have some things going on, hopefully, hopefully everything works out the way we hope for it to. We did set aside a good chunk of money when we sold the last house just to prepare us to be able to get into our next house. So it shouldn't change our regular budget too much, but I'll kind of go over that a little bit here in the February budget. You might be able to see some of those changes. So let's go ahead and jump into our February as a whole. So we are looking at our full month's budget here. So up here we do have our income, and if you guys have not seen it was maybe a few videos ago, we did a how to make your budget in Excel. I'll definitely link it here in the cards. But I basically show you how to make this in a video. So if you guys are curious, definitely check that out. But so right here, February 3rd, I got paid $709. Typically I budget $650 just to be safe. And then, so I get paid every week. My husband gets paid every other week. So I just stick to $650 just across the board, and then I update this as I get those paychecks. I do payroll at my job, so typically I know that by like Wednesday, so I have time to redo my budget. If I'm bringing home a little less or a little bit more in income, then I can adjust my sinking funds as needed. Typically, even if my money does change up or down, the only thing that you're going to see changing normally is going to be these sinking funds. I usually try to keep everything else the same. Okay, so let's jump in here. So for at least this first paycheck, I did receive $709 and some change, but I never count the change. So we're going to set aside this much here for our fixed expenses, which is a total of $90. So we are a month ahead on our bills. So this is all saving for next month with us kind of ending our lease early March. We're going to anticipate paying for full bills in March, but obviously we won't. But I want to make sure that we're set up. A lot of these bills are fixed as far as like not really related to the house or to our rental house. So like cars, medical bills, phone, student loans, pest, all that's going to be the same. Pest will carry over to the new house. Rent will be different. And then let's see here. What's the other one? There was another one. Our internet, that's going to be different. And then of course our energy and water and our variable expenses will be different because we won't be using as much. So this is kind of a learning thing for me as we go. I'm going to be watching these bills. Obviously we should have, I think we pay, obviously in March we pay for February's usage. So it's probably going to be next month that we see a lot of these changes. So we're going to set aside $90 for our fixed expenses. I have been putting it into the savings account just so I don't have so much cash sitting in the house. But because we have a lot of back and forth with the new house and fees and things like that, I want to actually pull that money out because I want to make sure that none of that money that we are a month ahead on is being accidentally spent on something. So I want to make sure that we always stay a month ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this money out in cash and have it set aside. And then as you see here, we are not going to pay anything towards any variable expenses this paycheck. And then I went ahead and bumped up our grocery to $140, $120. We were just struggling. So I want to be a little bit more realistic here. So we're going to try $140 for groceries $40 for Mason, and dining out $20, miscellaneous $20. And to be honest, we have already spent some of this, so I'm gonna zero these out. So we were just at the store today. We bought Mason some diapers and some diaper powder, so I'm gonna zero him out for now. And then dining out, we did have breakfast this morning. We're gonna get rid of that one. And then miscellaneous, we did buy Mason a Lego set while we were at Target, so we're gonna zero that out. So we're just gonna pull $50 for gas and then $140 for groceries. So let me see here. Actually, I'm gonna leave these numbers here so we can keep our zero-based budget going. But I'm going to actually, let's just highlight these in a different color. Let's highlight these in that color there. That tells me that we're not gonna pull that money out in cash. I wanna make sure that we don't accidentally pull that out because we've already spent it. Okay, so that's the total of $270, and then down here is the rest of our sinking funds. So we are going to set in $30 for health, $50 for nails. I do have a nail appointment tomorrow. I did get a $50 gift card from my boss for what was it? My birthday. So I have that to go towards nails, which is awesome. And then cake funds is going to get $9. That, in case you guys are new, we are baking a budget. So my past career was a pastry chef. So I was hoping to maybe on this channel do a little bit of maybe fun baking type things, but that's kind of where it comes from. And then so this cake funds is for when I do cakes for family, that so it doesn't come out of my grocery budget. Typically, if I'm doing it for friends, like coworkers, things like that, they do pay for at least the ingredients, but I don't charge my family for ingredients or anything. So I use this cake fund to supply the ingredients for those cakes instead of it coming out of my grocery budget. Gifts, we're going to do $5. I don't have anything coming up for gifts, so we're just going to keep just a little bit of money going in there each month. Amazon Prime is $2. Mason, we're not going to do anything this week for Mason as far as his birthday goes. $70 towards debt. I'm actually going to zero all this debt out because I did make an extra payment today because I was getting very antsy on my husband's credit card. We had $66 left on his credit card. So I went ahead and paid that off this morning. So we are credit card debt free, which is super exciting. So I want to just go ahead and get that out of the way. So we paid that. So since we're dealing with the house situation right now, I think I'd rather just hold off. I mean, I want to go ahead and start on our next debt immediately, but with all the expenses coming in with the new house, I want to maybe just hold on to this money this month and then maybe start back in March towards debt. So, which I think will be one of my student loans will be the first in line. I think it's a $2,000 student loan. If you guys are curious about the debt confession that I have for this year, I will put it in the cards here so you can kind of see in what order we're going to be paying things off. Actually, I think I'm going to do student loans because they do have interest, but obviously they're not accruing interest right now due to deferment. But I think there is a MRI bill, but it doesn't have interest on it. So I think I might focus on the student loans. I'm not quite sure yet. But okay, so debt, we're going to go ahead and zero out. I'm going to zero them all out for this month. So that'll give us a little bit extra money to work with. All right, home maintenance, we're going to do 10. I'm going to up this to 50. Because with the new house, maybe we'll give ourselves a little bit of extra in just in case we need to do anything for the house. Car maintenance, we won't do anything this week, nor will we do anything for the health deductible. Actually, I'm going to zero that out for the whole month. We'll come back to that at some point. Vet, let's do $25 that week. Okay, so Mason gets $50 twice a month for his stuff. So let's actually do 50 on the days that my husband and I both get paid because there's more money those weeks. And then retirement, I'm going to zero out for now. All right, and then, okay. And then make sure you guys can see that. Okay, and we're going to do 0 for checking account buffer just so we can kind of see where we're at. So I do a zero-based budget. So my goal is to always have income minus expenses equals 0. So as you see here, today, or for this past Friday's check on the 3rd, it's saying we have $203 to use for that paycheck. So I want to make sure that we are really preparing ourselves for the house transition, whether because we're moving utilities. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave that in the bank. I don't want to do that. I can't decide if I want to go ahead and pull it out in cash just so it's safe somewhere. But again, I don't want to accrue that much money. So I might just move it to the savings account. That way it's not in our checking account to be used. And yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I just want to make sure it's set aside for the need that we need it for, not to get spent on anything. I am just itching to go buy new stuff for the house. So is my husband. So I'm really trying to be good and not go to any stores yet and just enjoy the next 4 weeks of packing and decluttering and then get into the new house. And then I have it right here. I don't know if you've seen that, but I think I'm going to create a scratch off for the house because I'm a very instant gratification, I want to do it now kind of person. So I'm trying to figure out a fun way to save money for all different types of areas in the house, because I feel like if I go to the store, I'm going to see something that I want for this room and then something for this room. I can't typically tunnel vision myself to only focus on spending money in one room. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a scratch off, and I'm going to have one card that's for a room, and then I'm going to have one card that's all the amounts, and they're both going to be under scratch off stickers. So I'm going to scratch off a room and I'll say, okay, this one is living room, and then I'm going to scratch off a dollar amount, and we're going to say that's $50. So that $50 gets to go to the living room fund. And I think I'm going to have a separate binder maybe for the house. And then that way I know, ooh, I have $50 for the living room. I have $20 for the powder room. And that way I can kind of, buy here and there for the different rooms and feel like I'm, being able to buy new stuff for the house, but doing it more in a controlled way. I think that might work for me. My husband was very stressed out when I told him how I wanted to do that. So it may be on me to kind of manage that. But if you guys have any other ideas, let me know if you guys have moved recently and how you kind of curve that needing to spend money all the time on the new stuff kind of thing. I just haven't spent any money on house stuff in, over a year. With being in a rental and moving and stuff, I haven't spent money on decorations or anything like that in a while. So I really do want to decorate and really make this house a home for our family and my son. So if you guys have any advice on how to transition that and watch my spending and stuff, definitely let me know. I appreciate it. Okay, so for $203, I think we said we're going to go ahead and just buffer the account, which will ultimately get moved to our savings account. So as you see here, that is putting us at a $0 balance, which is what we want for our zero-based budget. And I'm going to go ahead and do this for all three of these because, oh, nope, that one's not 237. What was it? 213. So we're going to put 213 here, and then this one is 291. All right. So we're zero base all the way across. Again, as these numbers change up here, so my husband's salary, so we know his won't change, but as mine change and I update these numbers, again, this will all stay the same as far as bills and cash envelopes, all that stays the same. It would be down here where those numbers start to change. So if I bring home more, like $700, and so I brought home 50 more than planned, then I can put that $50 somewhere in here, or just add it to the checking account buffer. So that's kind of how I plan to utilize that. That's how I use this as I look at it as a monthly budget. But if you guys are curious, that's kind of what I do. So I use this same Excel all month. I typically, so here, I'll show you this column here, unhide here. So this is my current column. This is what I budget for the month. These are all the bills that I've already paid. And kind of I can look at it as a whole for the month, but I typically only use it for this area. This is where I highlight when they've come out of the bank, and then I put notes in here of like what day I paid it and the confirmation number. So that's kind of what I use that column for. You guys don't typically see that one. I'll put that back away. Okay, so I use this all month. Each paycheck I'll come in here and change these and then redo it if there's any money left over or if anything changes. Like here I had this pay off the Capital One. I did add that to the main column that I just hid just because I wanted to get that done. So we always keep a buffer in the checking account. So I use that buffer so I could pay off that card. So super excited to be credit card debt free. That's huge for us. I want to keep it that way. We've already talked about me getting a new iMac, and I'm like, no, we're going to save money. I really want to do I tell you what, I really want to do a kitchen renovation in this next house, but I will not do it until we're debt free. So that's a goal for me, is to continue to push forward, because I know once we are debt free that I can do those big projects and save for those and not feel bad about it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. So we are posting this here on Sunday, and then tomorrow hopefully will be our cash stuffing that we are a little behind on. And then this coming Friday, my husband and I both get paid. So we will do a budget with me a little bit later this week to go over what we're going to do with that money. So guys, thank you again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate your help. Definitely leave a comment down below and say hi. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.